You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And go.
This is going to be a quickie. This is going to be a quick one. This is going to be a quick episode because we have things to do. A brief episode of the Board Game Snobs podcast.
Quick, brief, fast, speedy.
This is Jerry.
This is Gummy.
We're back from BGG Spring.
Yet again.
Which was
still
a quicker trip for you. Well, I enjoyed it a lot. And we always get a lot of content out of BGG. And what we typically do is we talk about several episodes of it for like a month, it seems like, typically, don't we?
We milk it.
We milk it for all that it's worth. And unfortunately, we can't really give away the meat of it, which would be the Den of Wolves mega game and several other things like John Company, because Bubba's not here for John's Company and Enrique's not here for the mega game. And I refuse to talk about the mega game without Enrique.
I have a story from Den of Wolves. It's one of those things where after I got home and thought about it, in retrospect, it played like a movie in my head. And I thought about it, and it touched my heart.
Tell me about how your heart was touched.
Well, I can't tell you until we get Enrique on the episode.
You can't. Oh, okay.
It's part of the Den of Wolves discussion.
So you can't even begin to give a little bit of it?
No, I'm not going to, because this is not apropos to what we're about to discuss, which is White Castle. The White Castle. Not one of, the White Castle by DeVere Games.
Okay. So we played that game with Joffrey, and he did a good job explaining the game.
I think he told me later he got a couple of rules wrong.
Oh, but the overall of it.
Yeah,
like overall, with the flavor of it, we kind of understand. But you can't really fault him because as somebody who teaches the games, I can kind of point out there is a lot of problems with the icons in this game.
It's terrible.
I don't like the icons. This game is rated an 8 with a weight of a 3.
They love it. They love this game. And DeVere has a good reputation, which it should. They produce a lot of fine games. This is not one of them.
I don't know. I don't know. There is a lot of people loving this game. I don't know why people like this game so much. You give your thoughts on it real fast, because we're speedy.
So to begin the game, this is the game I was thinking of where you get your cards and you draft them, and that's your starting cards.
Yeah, you start off with like a little card, yeah.
And then you pick a die on this bridge. You have several bridges to choose from. And depending on where you pick that die from, it's a certain color of die. Depending on that color of die, you can add it to an action space, trigger that action.
I'm not even...
It's a dice placement.
Yes, but it's
action selection.
It's a pseudo dice placement thing where you roll dice, you put all the middle dice on the bridge, and then on the one side of the bridge or the other is the lowest or highest dice. And so when you select that dice and put it out, you're either paying the amount difference or gaining the amount difference between what little dice is indicated on the action spot. So it's a 4, you place a 6, you're going to get $2. If it's a 4 and you place a 2, you're going to pay $2. That's really the only mechanism. It's figuring out where you're going to place, and you know how I feel about dice placement, place this dice out onto this board, which I'm not 100% sure what was going on.
Well, it has this theme, as I'm reading it on BGG, of this castle and all the things that surround the castle, the garden, the pond, and the social status inside the castle. You feel none of that. It's all pointless. It means nothing. This game, within, again, 2 rounds of this, I was like, I don't like this game. It did nothing for me. I'm picking up a die. I'm placing it down. Depending on if it matches or not, I either pay, get or don't pay anything if it matches. And you can stack on top of other die, Marco Polo style, on a couple of different spots. There's one spot where you can go infinitely, the whole gang can go there if they want to. It just did nothing for me. This game is just action selection, trying to gain some victory points, and the iconography is horrendous because you have the victory points, which is a fan. Then there's like the clam with the pearl in it, which looks very similar to the fan. Then you have farmers and samurai, and it's all just the stuff that means nothing to me. And this is a game that when I feel nothing, I'm 3 or 4 rounds into it, I feel nothing. It doesn't make me feel any type of way. I'm not feeling joy from playing it. I'm not feeling satisfaction from understanding the game, because we were done with it and we're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why is that? What am I doing? Where are the actions I'm taking have to do with the theme of the game? And it's so pasted on. Not that I'm a thematic person, not that I require a theme. I enjoy it. It kind of helps you go with the flow. If you can find the flow of the game, oh, this means this means that, why this relates to that. And then almost at the end of the game, we realized we were playing something completely wrong because the iconography was so terrible. Me and Jerry both did not like this game. Joffrey wants to like it. He kind of likes it. He kept saying he enjoyed the cascading effects.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept triggering things that would, this triggers that, this, that. So he enjoyed that aspect of it. The next day when we were playing Shadows over Camelot, he told me, I got there was a couple of things we got pretty wrong. I still don't think it's going to affect y'all's opinion on the game, but you just might want to give it another chance. I would give this game another chance. I didn't. It's one of those games I didn't absolutely hate. Right. I just felt nothing.
Yeah, I would definitely give it another chance because it's one that I would like to know, yes, I would definitely give this game another chance because, like I said, even if I played one rule wrong, but also just going through something again and again and really trying to figure out and distill down why exactly you don't like it or you like it. That's kind of the thing is it's very easy to pick up on something and go, this one little thing I'm not too sure about.
And I like what these designers, Isra C and Shay S, I think they're the same ones that did Red Cathedral. They have this thing of using dice, and these small cards. We're both present in Red Cathedral as well. I much preferred the rondel of Red Cathedral as to this pick a dice on this pointless bridge they had that just actually kind of got in the way of the icons I needed to see.
Mm-hmm.
And pick that dice up and place it down. Red Cathedral far superior to this game, in my opinion, upon first play.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I really do like Red Cathedral. But yeah, so it didn't blow us away. Let's just say that.
Which apparently we are in the minority. Everyone apparently loves this game, raves about this game.
Who knows? The people like what they like.
That's true.
And
they don't like what they don't like.
I know, but
it's weird how that is.
But I don't know why people like certain things, though. Like, I honestly don't understand the little nuances of some of these games that it comes across where I feel like there is a large group of maybe, I want to say it's newer folks coming into the hobby that just like whatever the hotness is. It could be that. But also, I think
mob mentality type thing.
No, not necessarily that. Just new people that just that they haven't played a whole awful lot and they play something. Or maybe it is that maybe that is that when you want to say mob mentality, I want to say maybe it's more of people just want to like something. They want to play something. I think we are incentivized when you play a game to like it because you've wasted your time on it otherwise. Which I don't feel like I've wasted my time on anything. Even if I play a bad game, I'm like, well, at least I understand now this aspect of it in terms of design or something else.
I could see this being one of those games. If I played it again, maybe it's a Diemocker situation where the first time I played it, although Diemocker, I enjoyed it the first time, but I just didn't, I knew I wasn't grasping it fully. This game, I really did not grasp at any point during the game until the end where I still did not grasp it. Maybe if I played it again, you can appreciate the theme of it seems to be very peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
And I know and I enjoy myself some games that you play literally to relax. I'm playing this game. It's very relaxing. It's very peaceful. You're gardening. You have a pond. You have fish. You're in this nice Japanese village. Okay, I get that. But the mechanisms weren't enough to make me want to come back to it.
It was pick up a dice, put that dice somewhere, and then do whatever little track, basically. It wasn't really, there was a track, but it was disguised as something different. That's the mechanism of the game. And so your only real decision in this game was which dice are you going to select and where you're going to put it, which is not a bad main mechanism. It's just that what you have to do and what you need to offer to people is the strategy behind that. I think the point is that when I play when I think of a placement game and I'll put dice placement, worker placement, and action selection, they're all kind of in that same thing where I'm putting something to do in action. I think of like Lorenzo El Magnifico, which is putting out one of your family members in this tower, and there's rules to it. Like you have to have this thing that you're trying to get, and you have to be able to pay for it, and you can't put the same workers in the same spot, and you're building an engine. I never got the engine building part of that, although there is one, because you're flipping those cards over on your player board, and when you do this one action, you get all this other stuff, like it cascades, as Joffrey says. But it was so abstract, I guess I couldn't ever connect anything together. Like nothing in my brain told me, if I take this dice, I put that there, I'm going to put it here, and then when I do this thing, I'm going to get all of this. I didn't make that connection. It may very well be there, but it wasn't coming through as it was, like, for instance, like Lorenzo. Put a worker, take something, put it on your board, and now when you decide, all right, I'm going to run my engine, you run your lands and you get all this benefit. I guess that's what I'm saying, is that it's a smaller game, it's a smaller box game, but I was just not enthralled with it initially either, because the main mechanism of it just wasn't, to me, that enthralling. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'd love to play it again. I very much want to play it. I did get to play Sand, which is the game I really wanted to play of theirs. That's a DeVere game.
You did not get to play?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah.
So I still need to play it. And, yeah, I'd want to play White Castle again so I have a better handle on what it is and understand what the charm of it is that people are so enraptured with.
I would concur. I didn't get it. I mean, theme is not something I yearn for in games, but it is nice when you have a theme that kind of tells you the steps you need to take.
I have to have a theme. I used to say all the time that, just the mechanisms moving around. If it doesn't kind of get me into that mindset of what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do, then I think it's harder to connect with the actual mechanisms. And the iconology of it is just crazy if it doesn't make any sense. I need to play White Cathedral again. Or not White Cathedral, Red Cathedral. Everything's at White Castle, Red Cathedral. Oh, I see what they did there.
Ah.
That's why.
Brown Sands.
Brown Sands. But that's not same people.
Oh, it's not? It's not Ezra C. and
I don't think it is. I think it's same people did Silk. But Red Cathedral is another one I need to play. Is it solo?
It has a solo.
Have you played it solo? Of course not.
It's easily beatable. Yes, I played it solo and have never lost to the solo. Ivan. It's even because it depends on the way the cards lay out in the solo game of Red Cathedral. You can lay them out where the machine has a really easy go of things, or they have a difficult go of things. I've played them because you lay them out randomly. I played it several times solo. I've never lost to Ivan.
Oh.
Which tells you it's really easy because I'm not that great at solo.
You might be cheating too.
I was not cheating. It's a super easy game. It's good
may
because
be cheating but not know it.
It's super. I was sure if I didn't know it, I wouldn't know it.
But so you're cheating anyway.
but I don't know that I'm cheating until you point out.
But if you cheat and don't know it, are you cheating?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, even if you don't know it.
You're cheating if you don't know it.
So you could be cheating.
I could be.
You could be.
Who knows?
You wouldn't.
Not me.
Because you don't pay attention.
I do pay attention.
So you are cheating.
I read the rules religiously when I'm playing solo.
You're cheating.
But anyway, Ivan's very easy to beat.
You're cheating Ivan. Don't besmirch Ivan. I bet we get some.
You've beaten me many times.
There's some people emailing. If he dies, he dies.
I can't believe I lose to you repeatedly.
That's just
I can't help it, Ivan. I'm just doing it. You are very good at this game for some reason. I do not know.
This is how every Russian sounds to America, because that's what they feed to us.
Vodka.
Yes, that. No,
there is no vodka cards in this game, Red Cathedral, which it really needs.
Holds it back.
That would get them
which we
workers
discovered
really going.
The first vodka we actually like, thanks to Bruno. We need to post that picture of all of us smiling, because that's the first time we've actually found a vodka. I went on a rant at some point that there's no point. Vodka just makes other things alcoholic. I've never had a good vodka, and Bruno proved me
I believe
wrong.
I posted, I don't remember where I posted, at some point in time, I said, I've never tasted a vodka I like. Vodka, for most people, they're like, oh, I can't taste it. It's very smooth. It's a really good vodka.
Yeah.
No, I want something with flavor. Like you talk about gin. Gin really has a flavor.
Right.
It's very specific.
Overwhelming.
Vodka, for the most part, it's either tastes like rubbing alcohol or it tastes like water.
Yep.
And water is preferable to rubbing alcohol. But this iceberg that Bruno brought, it's good stuff.
It's good stuff. It's Canadian.
From the heart of a glacier.
From real geese.
What if they're mining that glacier?
They love miners. They're out there picking away. It's just a big straw that they got. All it is some big mountain guy. He's got a straw in that iceberg and he's just sucking it up and then spitting it spitting the water into the bottle. All right, no, get that distilled. And it's made from
distilled glacier water.
It's
not distilled, because they don't have to distill it.
It's fermented cream corn.
That makes it sweet.
Mm-hmm. So they're over there opening cans. The other guy's spitting water out of the iceberg and making some iceberg vodka.
So we went to Total Wine & More with Bruno,
which was exciting.
And they
He'd
had
never been to Total Wine & More, which is
not know.
It's a Walmart-sized liquor store.
It is a massive liquor store here.
They have fights out back.
States.
If you were a wife beater there, you get to go out back and fight other people.
And he was blown away that there's this amount of alcohol available in these stores.
Yes.
And we did a
sampling.
Well, I didn't, but Jerry and Bruno did.
No, Bruno didn't either. Bruno can't give me his sample cup. I got thrice the samples.
So they tried Kruto, a Ukrainian vodka.
Vodka?
That's how they say it.
Vodka?
I don't pronounce the V. Nuclear vessels. Come on.
I don't think that. Continue.
Hey, that's a thing. They do not pronounce the V's. They're W's.
Kiev?
Dirk Nowitzki. It's Nowitzki.
I'll go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, so there was a salesman there, and I don't know if he was pretending to be Ukrainian or not, but he had an accent, selling this Ukrainian vodka Kruto that was distilled 9 times, and he was bragging about how they distilled it and how many times they distilled it, and that's why it was so pure. And Bruno literally took one sip and then handed it to Jerry without the guy saying, because he's like, no, this just made my stomach sick. Because Bruno's like, I'm used to glacier water that requires no distilling. It's the purest form of water on earth. And this guy's bragging about how they distill their water
from Chernobyl.
From Chernobyl. And Bruno's like, no, we don't need to distill.
They got stuff like that. You could get a job there doing that. Just whatever, since you could do the voice, whatever you're selling, just act like you're from. This is the vodka from Pripyat.
I mean, might do a stereotypical accent of wherever.
Just show up with your tracksuit suit and wearing your AK-47.
What's with the tracksuits?
I don't know. That's a thing. That's very racist of you to say that.
TV.
Yeah, I watched that.
No, it's not. I watch TV, and the tracksuits are all related to people of Eastern European descent.
Yeah, they're all evil. That's like, and you want to scare some Americans, and they're ever in Europe, just wear a blue tracksuit with tennis shoes. We automatically assume that this is about to get taken.
It's a bad guy. It's a bad guy.
To get taken. You could just do, and then every other accent, as long as it's European. Australian? This is Australian.
I can't do Australia. Foster's. No, wait. See, I have to always go. See, the touch, you got to have a touchdown. So for Australian, it's always my crook will grab you, take you down, roll you over and over and over till you stop kicking, put you on the Krieger rock, tenderize you a bit. Good eating.
That's what this whiskey do for you. You could just do it. You could just keep doing the same.
How many? I don't know of many Australian spirits. I mean, there's Fosters. Then what?
We've had this discussion on this podcast. Like the number one.
I don't remember yesterday.
The number one makers of wine, like way up there in terms of wine.
Okay, that was the Chilean broadcast.
Mm-hmm. And they do something else too.
Do they make the yellowtail with the kangaroo on it?
I don't know. I'm assuming they brand themselves as that. They probably ferment kangaroos and make it. Wouldn't that be something?
Kangaroochi?
Kangaroochi? Kanichi? There you go.
Ruchi.
There
you go. Fermented kangaroo tail. Made from the pockets of mother kangaroos.
That's not right. Have you seen baby kangaroos when they're born?
Young baby kangaroos.
Have you seen baby kangaroos?
Like veal.
Have you seen baby kangaroos when they're born?
No. Oh, yeah, they're very small.
They're very small.
Very small.
Minuscule, some might say.
Cute little fella. Look at him over there. Over there, nursing on his mother.
That's a Norm Macdonald joke. He says that crocodile hunter died the other day, and we were all shocked. Well, really? Don't you expect that? I can't remember the bit, but it's basically how obvious it should be that the crocodile hunter is eventually going to get killed. It's like,
he does all these dangerous things with these dangerous animals.
Sure, he's a good guy, but he's out there hunting crocodiles and being like, "Hey, I don't know." He says it'd be different if you're like your cousin died.
You got a crocodile hunter as opposed to
what does he do? He works at Walgreens.
Koala hugger.
Oh.
Why couldn't he have been the koala hugger?
He get chlamydia and die from that.
See, you can't
win either way. Chlamydia.
Poor koalas. Koala-mydia.
You've already made those jokes so many times. They're beat into the ground.
Nobody remembers.
I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
No, nobody remembers.
And all these people. Well, good thing is Max has started listening to us again, so now he gets caught up on the last 100 episodes that he's missed.
Well, talk about Rex. Hard merge.
And now a hard merge into board games.
Rex is a remake of the old Dune game, which is then, when they lost the license, Fantasy Flight made Rex, which is basically Dune skinned with the Twilight Imperium universe. And now, here recently, they brought back and got the license for Rex, or for Dune. You can buy Dune now, but apparently it's not well liked. People like the old Dune. Some people prefer Rex. I prefer Rex.
Really?
Yes. Rex is simply 6 factions that all have a power that breaks one of the 6 stages of the game. And the stages of the game are very simple. There are cards that are used for battle. Those get bid upon. But they're played face down. And so nobody knows what they're buying, except one guy at the table can look at them and know and tell people are not. And then you have where you can deploy troops. And some people you have to pay money or influence. There's no money. It's all influence. But one person doesn't, and they can deploy a bunch of troops. There's some people who get money that instead of it going to the bank, it goes to them. Some people can do these weird actions of keeping their troops hidden and turtling and not taking damage. And it's just, instead of a sandworm, there's a bombardment of ships in the upper atmosphere that just fly around blowing stuff up. It's very mean. It's very streamlined. And it does exactly what the old Dune does, except it does it quicker. And by quicker, I mean 3 hours. And so it's a very 6-player mean game. And Scythe stole the combat mechanism from it. So if you like Scythe and you just want if you want a Scythe type game with violence and power, there you go.
Wake up and choose violence.
But Rex is way out of print.
Rex was not 3 hours in this game. We played this game for 5 hours and still weren't done because you had to go play poker at 7:00. But Bruno was saying he has the original Dune and it was the exact same. Why would it be quicker? What is quicker about Rex over old school Dune? And is the new Dune a reskin of the Rex if the Rex streamlined the old Dune?
Ask that question again.
You're saying Rex was a faster version of the original Dune. So they clearly streamlined something.
Mm-hmm.
So is the new Dune just a reskin of Rex with Dune stuff?
I don't think so. No, from what I've seen of it, it got a lot of hate.
Huh.
I don't know why. I remember shut up.
Well, I know it was Twilight Imperium. Of course, Rex is in the Twilight Imperium universe with the same artwork character type stuff. I don't have any skins in the game, as they say. Come Twilight Imperium. I don't hate the game. We've played it twice. It was fine. It's a lot. Definitely need the full amount of people for it to be exciting. Rex was fine. It's a good game. It's more than fine. Don't get me wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Rex is a good game. I don't know. We had talked about during our game of this, the alliance thing that triggers alliances between the players came out seemingly pretty early for us. And so that occurred very quickly, and we all allied very quickly. So it was 2 versus 2 versus 2. And from there, it just felt like it was fun, but it was just a tug of war back and forth.
Right.
Me and Bruno were close to winning one place away. Then y'all both, the other two teams attacked us. So then another team was close. So then we attacked them. Then you were close. So we attack you. And it just seems like a tug of war that seems very difficult to win.
Yeah, I will say that I've cooled on Rex, not because I think it's a bad game. I think it's an old game.
Yes.
I think it falls into the thing of, and you see games do this, such as, and I think of one of my favorites, which is Game of Thrones. It lays into the thematic side of it and going for this feel, and it doesn't care how long this takes or what you have to go through. We're going to keep the theme, and we're going to keep this aspect of the game pure, and y'all just figure it out. And so what that lends itself to is that sometimes you have very long, drawn-out, back-and-forth games, and then sometimes you have amazing games. And so I've had some amazing games of Rex, and I've had some very stalemate games of Rex. And this one, we played it with Michael Parsons, was my partner in this particular game. And we were on the verge of winning, and then we were on the verge of not, and we were getting close. But then at the same time, it is very back and forth. I think I don't prefer it over longer games. If I was giving another example of like, all right, you can either play this or play Game of Thrones. Obviously, I'm going to play Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, by far.
I think I would play Twilight Imperium again over this rather than Rex.
Me too.
I think the game would move a lot faster if all the players absolutely knew what was going on and were bought into it. But still, I think that by the time you put the effort into it, this game's really showed its age.
Well, and it's a weird thing too, because while you don't want something where you have a runaway leader in this game, it's got the team up thing where y'all clearly, because you were literally talking to the other team of Enrique and Bubba. You're like, they're one spot away from winning. We clearly have to team up and attack them, defeating them in these areas, taking that away from them.
Right.
So we immediately lost. So then we were all kind of even, and then it was just a tug of war. So it's like, I'm trying to think of games that do that better.
Well, first off, that's the same problem I had with Root. Root was the same aspect of everybody trying to run up and get close, and then people like, oh, we got to beat this guy down to keep him from winning. Game of Thrones does this thing where everybody gets to the very last where you just need 1 or 2 castles, and then the game kind of changes because nobody wants to help you win. Cosmic Encounter does the same thing. Everybody kind of help you get so many planets, and then it's like, okay, nobody wants to help you now because you're about to win. So there's tons of games that do that, but they often offer a thing that goes, here's this thing that you can do on your own that will win you the game. In Rex, the thing that motivates people is, one, my character is essentially, if
I did not like your character.
At the end of the game, if I'm holding these 2 spots and the game ends, I win. So my win conditions was, if I can't outright win the game, I can drag it along and then at the very last win it.
Oh, I didn't realize you had to hold 2 specific spots.
There are 2 specific spots. One I held the entire game, and the other one was right south of it. So it was particularly easy for me to do it. So it was a thing of, if I saw it's 8 rounds and this is round 6, I'd already decided, okay, by round 6, if I ain't won it, I'm going down here and I'm holding this. I'm just turtling, and you're not going to get me, so that I can win that way. And so there's some things like that, but that also kind of, that's theme over mechanics there. But either way, Rex is old, but it still plays like an old game. I wouldn't play it with less than 6 people.
There's, I guess it's all the pros and cons of each. I really like, no, I don't. I don't like deterministic battle. and I know that goes against probably what most people prefer. I like part of it being deterministic, but then like a die roll can help too.
No. You said this the other day, and it almost sent me into a rage.
I know, because you're against that, and I know the superior player should win. But even in history, there's been these little factions that did something weird and stupid, and for whatever reason, they ended up winning. And it's like, maybe I roll that perfect 20 roll and defeat you.
But that's not, that's...
But I just, that to me gives me an excitement, as opposed to, and even in Scythe, we do this. I know there's no way possible I can win in this battle, so I don't even try. So it's like I lay out all zeros to prevent me from losing. In this game, you have to commit so many units.
No, you don't lay out all zeros, because if you lose them all.
Right. Okay, whatever. But in this game, if you're going to, like, you will know generally, not all the time, generally, especially if you're Bubba's character, who could request seeing something from the opposing battlers. He had 3 different things he could check, and he would generally know, okay, I'm going to lose. And in Scythe, I think it happens actually more than in Rex. We had a few good battles in Rex. I don't know. I like a die roll. I
absolutely hate a die roll.
I like a die roll.
I don't think that you...
And just like an X-Wing, roll that die.
No, it has nothing. No, you're confusing you're confusing the die roll and the excitement of a die roll with the deterministic value of planning and doing your thing. Like, you're thinking the die roll is exciting. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing wrong against rolling the dice, but you're thinking, when you say die roll, people hear random.
Well, yeah, I don't know. There's something about I like.
Well, rolling a dice and that being random are two separate things.
I mean, you have mitigating things you can add to the die roll, but you posted this in our Facebook group because you're looking for battling mechanics,
right?
And what people prefer, and people posted several different ways. And I didn't know there were so many ways. Somebody posted a Cry Havoc. Poor, I forget his name.
Cry Havoc has at least an interesting.
No, we hated it. You don't remember because you commit this to this.
Yes,
on
the
this
board, yeah.
And like, it was so anticlimactic.
Yes, but
for me, a battle should be exciting, and if a battle is not exciting in a board game, you've messed up somewhere.
Well, I get your point, but I think you often hold that the battling the die is what's in fun.
Well, okay, it doesn't have to be die. I'm even like, as much as I hate to say it, even Cosmic Encounter, we're like, okay, you have a stack of cards. We do this thing. Okay, you've lost. Well, boom. I've played this card that you didn't, sneak attack. You didn't see this coming. Well, I did see that coming, and now I have this reverse action. I don't know. I want some excitement in my battles. In deterministic battles, such as Cry Havoc, that Cry Havoc one was garbage. Tom loved that. I remember watching those when I was really into watching the Dice Tower and Tom's opinion on stuff, and he loved the battle mechanic in Cry Havoc, and we played that game, and we both hated that.
I remember
mechanic.
A long time ago not liking it. I'd like to play it again because I remember it being some get captured, some you put them on the board, that type thing. There was a different. It's one I need to see again. And
another version of battle mechanics I hate is Imperial 2030. It's just simply mine versus yours. I have 5, you have 3. Now I've got 2 left.
Yeah. That's simplistic. It's just a wash.
It is very simplistic, but it's not exciting.
Well,
I guess it depends on what type of game you're making. Are you going for a exciting type of game, or are you going for a Excel spreadsheet type of game?
Well, I think you can have both. It's just that you're equating that throwing of the dice to be the excitement.
Well, okay. So the reason I say that is because of Star Wars Rebellion. And I rolled a die.
Yes, but that was not random.
I know I had things on my cards.
I know that was not random. You did not randomly roll a dice and this worked out.
But I needed something specific to happen with the die.
But you put yourself in that position.
Okay.
That's my point, is that when you say die, just roll a dice, no, that's not what you mean.
No, it's not like I roll a 6, you roll a 5, I win.
Yeah, because you play Risk.
Right.
I've played more games of Risk than I'd like to recount. But that's what you say when you say just roll a dice. That is not exciting. It is not exciting when you play Risk.
Risk has been a big hit for a long time.
The Risk is not exciting when you roll up against somebody with one dude and you've got 20 and he keeps rolling a 6. He keeps rolling a 6.
It's very frustrating.
Yes,
I get that.
Yeah, so that die mechanism only comes into play when you have set up everything else and you need a little bit of uncertainty, which was like Rebellion or anything else. But I would say that even that can be simulated in other ways.
So, and the other thing I don't like about these rec style games is I don't know. It does. Okay. The other thing I don't like is, okay, so me and you can ally with people, as we mentioned earlier.
Uh-huh.
My win is basically if my allied team had won, and you can ally with one or two other people.
Yeah.
The more you ally with, the more area you have to control, making it more difficult. Obviously, that makes sense. But we are all 2-2 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I was allied with Bruno. My win condition for me was if me and Bruno had won, and when you battle, you lose your ships. They go to this area for, what do they call that?
Yes, this is casualties.
Whatever, the casualty place, but you can recruit them back.
Right.
If I had less people in that spot than he did, so in other words, if I had less dead people in there than he did, I win.
Yeah.
You had your own win. I don't like that. I don't like this, I beat you type thing that Bruno had no idea I had this card in my hand.
Well,
I had no idea what Bruno had in his hand. I like knowing Jerry needs this to beat me. I need this to beat him. We all know what we got. And then you deal out these cards and no, secretly, I beat Jerry, but he has this card that if blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Rex is fun. I don't think it's sound mechanically.
Well, it's a thematic game. It's an Ameritrash fighting game. It's your typical Ameritrash fighting game.
Do you think in your recent months, do you think you lean more, as you say, Ameritrash or European?
I've always leaned to the Euros.
Me as well.
But there are some great Ameritrash games out there that I think are phenomenal that you just will not get that feeling from.
But like for me, like playing D-Mocker, D-Mocker blew Rex out of the water.
Right.
Rex is super, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked what I was doing in D-Mocker way more than what I was doing in this game. And they don't compare in the least. But I always just compare, what did I enjoy? Did I enjoy this or did I enjoy that? I enjoyed this. So I enjoy the Euro, even though it's like this market type thing. I don't like negotiation. I'm anti-negotiation.
There's not a negotiation in it.
There's a little bit of negotiation.
Very little.
And I don't know. I prefer Euros. Even though you get more excitement out of an Ameritrash game.
Right. I think that Rex is an old game. But if you have any battle mechanics that you can think of that you enjoy, send us an email at boardgamesnobs@gmail.com, because that was something that had been on my mind, working on and thinking of these various fighting mechanics. It blew up a little bit on our Facebook page because, it's interesting seeing the different ways people enjoy having that interaction with others. But send us an email.
We need emails. Also, if you enjoy what you hear, rate and review us on Apple or Spotify or whatever platform you listen on. Rate and review us. But also send us emails, because those are what we read on the air. Because, a Discord, Facebook, all that stuff, that's great. They get lost in the shuffle of all the other Facebook and Discords that get posted. But an email, we can flag it. We read it just like we did last episode or whenever that was. We read the several. Send us emails. And they give us also good topics of conversation.
If you have something interesting to say.
You can just say, hey, what's up, guys? And we will read it. All right, that's going to do it for this episode, as Jerry's putting his keys in his pocket, ready to go out the door. He's got to get out of here. He always says that. Got to get out of here.
I got places to be.
He's got places to be. As do I, unfortunately. So we got to wrap this up. I'm checking my watch, not for my heart rate, but for the time. That's going to do it. Rex, it's okay. It's not great. White Castle sucks. Maybe we should play it again. We'll see what happens. And until the next episode, when we will hopefully get Enrique and or Bubba and discuss Den of Wolves and John Company, I'm Gabi. That's Jerry. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.